Yo, what's up, everyone? Hope everyone's doing well. Just wanted to hop on here. One of the things I've been talking about that I wanted to do over the next little bit was uh, to just share more of what I've learned. I've had a reminder set in my calendar every week, probably for the last like 2 months, to just summarize the things I've learned and to share more about it. So these last couple uh, weeks, I've been doing some more reading of books and taking in some podcasts. Yesterday, I did a road trip. I went and picked up half a cow from there's a farmer that I met years ago, and I visited his farm. Yeah, long story short, I just picked up half a cow, grass-fed meat, filled my freezer, delivered it to a couple other people, and I listened to a couple podcasts. So yeah, this morning I just started itemizing some of the things that I've been learning over the last couple days, and just taking some notes, and just wanted to start sharing more of it. So today, a couple things. So I'm going to talk about a little bit of my readings from this book, Salt, Sugar, Fat. Couple of podcasts I listened to, Ben Greenfield. Who else? Gary V. I was listening to Gary V stuff, Andy Frisella. So going to talk about a little bit of health stuff, some things that I picked up from the Ben Greenfield podcasts around light. There was another interesting one on the Happy device that I've never heard of before, HAPBEE. A little bit about psychedelics and NFT, which are non-fungible tokens, which is a new topic for me as well. So yeah, so I'm going to get started with just sharing some shit from here and reading this. I got this years ago and I started in on it. I don't know. There's sometimes I just get in the habit. I read a little bit of something, then maybe get distracted with another book and kind of come back to it. But if you haven't read this book, give it a read. This one's all about kind of like food addictions and, even just look at that, how the food giants hooked us. So basically, and you probably know this to some respect, that the big guys, the food corporations, they hire scientists to modify food ingredients to make them more appealing to us, so we buy more. And the marketers do like a really, really good job at, talking up certain ingredients and talking down other ingredients. So yeah, this one's it's an interesting one, and one that I recommend you given a read to. I have kids, and when I read through this stuff, like I get really pissed about how things get marketed not only to parents but to kids as well. So at the beginning of the book, a group of the big food manufacturers got together. One of the guys organized it from, I don't remember which company he was from, but the companies that were in attendance were General Mills, Kraft, Nestle, Nabisco, P&G, Coca-Cola, and Mars. And the one guy just got together and shared about how their products lead to obesity and people getting sick and ill and all of those things. And, there was a couple of the other manufacturers that stood up and said, well, it's, we provide alternatives to people and they can choose what they want and this and that. And it really reminds me of a presentation that I did years ago. It was an initiative I created called Healthy Parent, Healthy Kid. And at the time I did like some extra research on the other, an epidemic that we have on the go that isn't as talked about as much as it should be. And it's obesity. People getting bigger and fatter and less healthy. I just find it really fucked up that, we can send a person to the moon, yet we're getting more sick and unhealthy as the days go on. We have so much more dependency on prescription drugs and various things like that. And it's this stuff that needs to be exposed more, right? So, you know, when I'm out and about, you know, I snap pictures of labels of, it's just blatant, like the product is so shit for you, yet they try to spin it on the front that it's made with whole grains or this or that. Yet when you flip it over and you look at the ingredients, it's just shit you can't pronounce or understand. So, um, yeah. So, like, I think obesity is one big thing, literally, that needs to be addressed a lot more than it is. Um, so, I'm gonna get that initiative going again. Healthy Parent, Healthy Kid initiative. And the big premise behind that was it all starts at home. It all starts with the parent, because we create patterns for future generations. You know, our kids are watching us all the time, and they're learning from us, right? And we should be the best example for them. And if we're eating shit, they're going to eat shit. They see us on our phones all the time. They're going to be on our phones all the time, right? So it's all about leading by example. Yeah, we all have our part to do on that. So yeah, so you know, I'm about maybe 20 pages in. I just got through the preface. I'm on part 1 now, which is sugar. So there's 3 parts: salt, sugar, and fat. And they all, as you eat some of these things, you know, it triggers something up in the brain, you know, tells you that you're more hungry, and it gets you to want to eat more and crave more of those foods, even though you just ate them. So what's next? So I want to hop into light now. So this is one that, you know, I've been studying on and off over the years. I've been following kind of the bulletproof lifestyle, and most of that's kind of like just eating healthy fats, low carbs, that type of thing. And you know, light has come up a lot. You know, Dave Asprey talks about it, Ben Greenfield. So I was listening to the Ben Greenfield podcast on my way to pick up the meat yesterday, and yeah, it's just there's some cool shit. So this, you know, some of the big takeaways for me are how lighting affects our circadian rhythms and our sleep. So sleep is another one of those underrated things. And years ago, when I was like hardcore, like building businesses, it was one of those things that I kind of put off. You know, I'll be able to sleep when I'm dead, type of thing, right? But our sleep's super important, right? We need it for rest and recovery and repair, and that's when our bodies repair itself, right? So you need different light at different times. So in the morning, I try my best to get outside and get the UV from the sun, right? And you know, the media tells us, you know, wear your sunglasses, wear the sunscreen, this and that. Well, burning yourself is bad. Staring at the sun for any long periods of time are bad, but the sun isn't a bad thing. Like, think of what it does for our earth and the life that it provides. So just imagine that, like our skin needs light as well, right? And you know, why does the media tell you to put all that stuff on? You know, well, sometimes it's financially driven, right? Like they're not going to tell you to go outside and get your vitamins from the sun because it's free. They don't make any money from it. So get your sunlight. It's not bad for you, right? So here's another thing that I use. So this is a light device that helps me during the winter. This is called a Sun Touch Plus, right? So this isn't UV. It's not UV, but what this does is this helps to wake me up in the morning. So I'm up in Canada, and I don't get outside as often as I do in the winter as I do in the summer. So there's something more prevalent up here. They call it SAD, seasonal affective disorder, right? And it's just us not getting the ample light that we need, right? So this also has a built-in ionizer, right? So which is for like just electromagnetic devices, and just changes the signal in the air and helps to minimize like Wi-Fi signals and different frequencies that don't support a healthy body. So I keep that on as well. Yeah, so the big thing for me with light, I haven't really experimented into like the extra hardcore therapies of using light to help fix ailments to the body. There's been studies around things around that they have devices that help correct things with that. It's been known to help like boost your mood and energy and things like that. Now, so I talked a little bit about the light to kind of wake you up in the morning. Just like light wakes you up in the morning, it also keeps you awake in the evening. So you just got to be mindful of the lights that are on. So for me, on my device, like I try to power my device down sooner than later in the evening. I really try to give myself some wind down time, and my sleep has improved a ton. So I have this is called an Aura ring. So this helps track the quality of my sleep. So over the years, like when I first got this device, my sleep was shit. It took me forever to get to sleep. I'd wake up throughout the night. It was just a restless sleep. So the quality of my sleep wasn't the best. So I've really been focusing on ways to help improve the quality of my sleep. And one of them is with light, right? So there's apps on your phone that can turn the blue light down after a certain time. So after 6 o'clock, the light on my phone switches to more of a kind of like a red light. So it takes off the blue light. And if I'm on my laptop, I will turn the brightness down. And also I have these blue blocking glasses that I wear that help to block those different types of light that aren't great for my sleep. So on that podcast, it was the Ben Greenfield podcast. We were just talking about like switching up the lights in your house. So, you could put dimmers in. So that's an option, or actually like switch the bulbs, right? They talk about how like these new LED and fluorescent bulbs are like the worst thing for your house. And they talked about like switching back to incandescent bulbs. So I haven't really gotten into any of that stuff yet. I do use dimmer switches. What else? Saunas. I'm a big fan of saunas. Unfortunately, we were not able to go into saunas too much now because of all the stuff that's going on with COVID and stuff. But there's like the near infrared light and things that just kind of help penetrate the skin. So I just wanted to just share a little bit on the topic of light and how important it is to your circadian rhythm. So again, your circadian rhythm is kind of like it's your sleep cycle. So, it's when you normally go to bed, it's when you normally would get tired, it's when you would normally go to bed, it's normally when you would wake up, that type of stuff. So if things are thrown off, like if you're confusing your body with too many things, it's going to mess up your sleep, which messes your health, your immune system. It affects the potential of you getting sick and having illness. It affects your digestion and how you take in minerals and nutrients and all of that stuff. So super, super important. So yeah, if anyone has any questions around any of that stuff, shoot me a message. I've really been studying a lot around sleep. So it's one of those things that I've put off, and now with the science around how important sleep is, I've really started to prioritize that. Oh, 1 sec. Okay, so the next one. So I got through a lot of podcasts yesterday because the road trip was at least 2 hours and 15 minutes one way. So I downloaded a bunch of podcasts, and so I tuned into a couple Ben Greenfield ones. So the next one that I listened to was an interview with him and Scott Donnell. And they talked about a device called the HAP-B device, HAPBEE. So it's a device I actually had never heard of. So it's basically something where you could either put it around your neck, or you can wear it as a headband, right? And it's a device that puts out frequencies. So similar to this thing that I was telling you about, like this ionizer, don't think I'll ever get the pronunciation of that right, where it helps with EMFs, electromagnetic frequencies. You've probably heard about 5G and all these various things, and Wi-Fi and microwave signals and all these things. So yeah, so this is a device that alters magnetic fields. So it's a loop, right? So then when you turn it on, like it's sending out signals, and whatever's in between this loop. So if it's a necklace, it's affecting various things within the body, right? So there's different frequencies that you can enable for different things. So a couple of them that they have, so calm, sleepy, focus, happy, relax, and alert. So depending on what's going on for you during the day, like maybe you're just about to sit down and maybe write up a blog or something, right? You'd want focus, or if you're in wind down time at night, you might want to turn on the frequency for sleepy, or relax, right, or calm. So yeah, I'm really big into technology and how it can help us optimize our health. So it was probably 5 or 6 years ago, I really got into this whole biohacking and just finding ways to operate at our best, right? So as I said, I got the Oura Ring. I've done Biome, where it tests my gut health, and I'm really big into like monitoring things, right? And just seeing how things can help with the improvement of our overall health, right? So I haven't used this device yet. Doesn't seem overly expensive. There's a lot of other people that endorse the product that I followed in the past. So yeah, it might be something that I might pick up. I think I saw that it was like 299 American for the device itself. So 30-day money back guarantee. If I decide to get it, I'll definitely share my experience with you guys. But yeah, I just thought that was pretty cool. Yeah, so it uses low energy magnetic fields. It says it mimics the signals that your brain already understands. Cool. All right, so the next one podcast that I listened to, it was on psychedelics and nootropics. And this was Ben Greenfield again, and he had this dude on, his name's Jim Fadiman. So, there's something, again, in the biohacking community and, just the different health circles that I roll in, and some just higher level entrepreneurs, like this has come up a little bit more lately. And they're just talking about like microdosing. Okay. So these are just, things that you take, whether it's mushrooms, LSD, like other various things as well. But just very, very super, super small amounts of these things, like 0.1 grams. They're called micrograms, right? And depending on which one you take and how much you take, it helps with different things. So similar to the previous device, where you can kind of set the frequency to what you're looking to accomplish. Same thing with this. So different substances that you take just can help with different things. So similar as the other thing. So help with focus, your mood, energy. They talked about improved performance. There's this one dude who was a runner that apparently was doing microdosing, and he was able to take 20 minutes off his full marathon time, which is insane. So they talked about how it helps with concussions and anxiety and depression and various things like that. So the science is starting to come out more on stuff. They're starting to do a lot more studies in and around this stuff. So again, it's microdosing. So it's just very, very small trace amounts of things. So I've started in on it some with mushrooms and just very small amounts. And I've only tried it a couple times, but can definitely see myself doing more of that. What else we got here? All right, so the last one that I just wanted to share some about is they're called NFTs. So these are called non-fungible tokens. So I tune into Gary V a lot, Gary Vaynerchuk. He's good. He's a really, really good dude. Just a great mindset, just a true giver. And he seems to be ahead of the curve on a lot of things. You know, he just like knows where the attention is, kind of spots trends, and takes action on the ones that where the attention is. So, you know, he's been talking about sports cards lately, and I used to trade sports cards when I was younger, and I'm just starting to get back into it again. Right? It's fun for me. Another thing that he's been talking about lately is NFTs. Right? So I don't have a full understanding of them yet, but currently, from what I get, is mostly it's art for now, where you know people get more credit than they used to get. So it's opening it up to just hobby artists as well, where you don't have to like have a gallery and sell your stuff that way, right? Like it's built on I believe the blockchain. Again, like I'm still ignorant when it comes to a lot of this stuff, but he says that this is one that is worth opening up and doing some research on. So if you're interested, I highly recommend you tune into some of Gary's more recent podcasts where he goes into a little bit more detail around them. He basically said it's going to go a lot further than just art. You know, he talked about how people like to flex. You know, hey, look at me, I have a private jet, or here's my Lamborghini, or you know, I've got the blue check mark on Instagram, or that type of stuff, right? It is what it is in society, and people like to show off sometimes when they're kind of early to things as well. Like maybe you're like a super fan with Nirvana, or you know, like you're one of the first fans of this band or that band. So he says where this is going to go is, so he even says like when he's writing his books, you know, he's going to write some of his future books using the NFT stuff. So not only would someone buy the book, someone can pay for a little bit of an upgrade where they're like a VIP member, right? And the VIP member gets them access, maybe extra access to Gary, right? Where once a month he has a Q&A, right? So if I bought that VIP, now I have that in my virtual wallet online, right? So he sees it as, you know, sometimes you look through people's social media profiles, what they're up to. He said that we're all going to have like an online wallet, right? And people will be able to kind of click through things. And some of it will be like your digital assets, like the art you've purchased, or, you know, these tokens that you've bought, right? So let's say I've bought this VIP package that Gary Vee offers, where I buy his book and I buy kind of like the VIP option where I get extra access to him, right? So now I potentially have lifetime access to like monthly calls with Gary Vee, right? I could get to a point where, you know, like now I can maybe sell that to another person, and that thing can obviously appreciate in value as well, right? So if you're an early adopter into something, it's cheap for you to get in because you're in early. And then if you hold it for a bit, that thing can potentially have more value to it. So again, still something newer for me, but I can definitely see the potential in what he's talking about. And he talks about like IP, you know, like Star Wars and, you know, like the big franchises, you know, kind of getting on there and doing more with it. So again, still lots to learn. But yeah, I just wanted to share that with you. So that's it. Yeah, I just wanted to hop on here just real quick. Part of why I do this, or I want to do more of it, is because they say, like, I want to improve my retention time too, right? So they say that you improve your retention time by like, I don't know, 90% or something like that, if you're learning things with the intention of teaching others. So I encourage you to continue to learn new things, but go at it in a way that you're doing it with the intention of teaching someone. Because now I just force myself to review what I did all week, which helps to reinforce it. but now I'm also verbalizing it and putting it out there to other people, which helps me to retain it more. So I'm looking to do these things weekly, hopefully every Saturday. So yeah, if you've taken anything away from this, let me know. If you have any questions with anything, or if you have any suggestions or further elaboration on any of the topics that I brought up, like NFTs, or if you've tried microdosing or light therapy or biohacking or any of that stuff, like anything that helps us live better, please share. Either share in the comments here or find some means for you to share it as well. Media can get pretty messed up at times, and we don't always get all of the information. A lot of it is filtered. So just try your best to share some good shit just to help people live better. All right. So let me just see if anyone is around. Any questions or anything like that? Still getting used to this whole, Zoom and Facebook Live. And so I'm going to be just doing recordings and compiling content and all these different things. So if you tuned in, thank you. If you're listening to the recording, hope you're enjoying it. All right. Saturday. Hope you have a good weekend. Bye for now.